Welcome, everyone, to the penultimate race in the chase for the Winstel Cup. Race 23 at 24 brings us here to Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. Over 30 drivers will attempt to conquer this racetrack, with several drivers still in the hunt for the Winstel Cup. Welcome, everyone, to ABN coverage of the Winstel Cup Series all season long from Daytona to Homestead next weekend. It's almost the end of the season, and it's going to be absolutely electric to see how this race plays out. Very loose, very hard to handle race cars for everyone here in the field as you see qualifying underway. Christina Ryan in that 30 car, that AOL yellow and blue machine, begins qualifying here tonight. 32 drivers again right now currently lined up, ready to go. 33 drivers, excuse me. Brandon Cruz, the late addition to the grid order. Christina Ryan having to make sure she stays off the wall there. Coming off the back straightaway. Now going down into turns 3 and 4. Very tricky racetrack that we're seeing here all race long. These drivers have to try to manage the different lanes because this drive is so unusual. As you see Christina Ryan going across start-finish line. How does car at 36? Christina Ryan goes 4th fastest at the moment, but there's going to be a lot of lap time cycle in here. Only 9 drivers at lap time so far in this qualifying session. Looking at the 46, Jacob Hotak, who just went 2nd on the board, front row, for the part-time driver alongside Dylan Roberts, who provisionally has pole position as things currently stand. Jose Solis Jr. just went 2nd fastest, so he'll move Potak down into the 2nd row. Here's Parker Alexander on a run now, getting ready to start his lap. In that Kellogg, number 5. Rolling down to start his lap across start finish line. All of the racetrack, he's chasing that 5 machine. Gotta keep it off the wall. Very tempting to run up there along that wall as close as possible. Riding down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Very unusual the way this track behaves. Parker Alexander will try to get himself close to the front row. Where does it put him? 29.757. It puts him row 3 with Gabriel Mauricio. Puts him 6th. Several cars starting laps now, several drivers on laps here. Looking right now, this is Brandon McKissick, who has, this is not going to count. He's already had his first lap. He tagged the wall. You're looking at drivers like Emily Howe right now, who are on their flying laps at the moment. Emily Howe, Philip Snipes did not set a qualifying lap there. Brendan McGee just now beginning his run. Emily Howe seeing on your screen as the laps wind in. Rolling through the corner. .806, only good enough for 10th place right now. As Brendan McGee tries to lap time, and he does set a lap time, but not good enough to jump up any higher than 17th. Alex Bates, the 25, also on track here, beginning his run momentarily. 23 set lap time so far. We'll have a ticker on the screen for you here shortly as Alex Bates begins his time. Larry Pace will start from the back of the field, as will Brandon McKissick and Philip Snipes. Alex Bates currently sitting provisionally if things stay where they are. He's 29th on the grid. If he can't set a lap time, he should be able to do so here. Across the line, Alex Bates goes. Not a great lap time though, only jumps up to 23rd. Ahead of Mo Perry, who sits in 24th, the last car with a time on the board. Larry Pace tried to set a lap time, spun across our finish line, which invalidated his run. Brandon McKissick tagged the wall. So did Philip Snipes. Corey Steinhauser, who's going to be sitting on pit lane, will do what he typically does and not set a time in with enough time in qualifying here. We only have about 10 seconds, so Expecting him to just not roll around. Roy Collins, Hayden Repas, Andrew Griesbaum, Ken Huff, and Brandon Cruz all not setting lap times either. So that'll complete the 33-car field. It is Dylan Roberts and Jose Solis Jr., though, front of the field going into this race. We'll go over the points, though, as they enter this race with everything getting led up into this. It is very close to the top of the board, and it needs to be a little bit closer for Dylan Roberts. He has the ability to have that advantage going into Homestead Miami next week. He is on pole. He is third in points, 25 behind Christian Budd. Tyler Head there in second place. All three of them have been very hard to separate, though, throughout the chase for the Winstel Cup. We're expecting it to be more of the same here. Nick Giuseppe, 117 points behind, still well within a race. He's starting this race for the 9th position. He's going to need a little bit more work to do, though. Gabriel Mauricio, also a good qualifying effort, in 5th in points right now. He's starting on the 3rd row, starting 6th today. Jose Solis Jr., front row for him. He needs to have another race like what he did last week when he won. He needs to have another race like that to have a realistic shot at winning the championship next week. Emily Howe, over a race out of this chase for the Winstel Cup, needs a race win to stay alive. Same with Parker Alexander, Sean Peleg, and Brendan McGee. Those 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th in trouble here. The starting grid is electric, though, with Dylan Roberts and Jose Solis Jr. front row, Jacob Potak and Christian Budd in row number 2. Sean Peleg, Gabriel Mauricio, row 3. The top 6 separated in qualifying, but just a 10th here at Darlington. Parker Alexander and Tyler Head sitting in row number 4. Nick Giuseppe and Emily Howe round out the top 10. That is your first 5 rows all on your screen. Mike Rasmus and Jonathan Hernandez sit in row 6 ahead of Kirk Marble and Christina Ryan. Christina Ryan, not a bad qualifying effort. We'll see what she can do from row 7. Matt Taylor and Evan Locke in row 8. A bit of a low qualifying effort for Evan Locke here in that 8th row. Brendan McGee and Ryan Hill in row 9. Logan Kress, once again on the racetrack alongside Corey Cook in row 10, rounds out your top 20. Steve Brown, Craig Lautenschlager sit in row 11 ahead of Alex Bates and Mo Perry. Those are the last ones set qualifying lap times here. Larry Pace, Brandon McKissick, Brandon Cruz, Philip Snipes, Andrew Griesbaum, and Ken Huff round out the top 30 in this 33-car field. 3 cars left to go over here. 34, Corey Steinhauser, Hayden Repas in the 89, and Rory Collins will start dead last, 33rd, in the field for the Southern 500. We've got 2 laps of warm-up here to get everyone ready to go. Dylan Roberts, front of the field, sits 3rd in the points, but still very much with a hand on the lever for his destiny. It is a 3-car fight right now without intervention from Jose Solis Jr. and Nicholas Doucette. The goal for everyone, get as close as possible, but if you're trying to stay alive and get to Homestead Miami with a chance at the championship, you need to be within 175 points of the points leader. In other words, if you're someone like Sean Peleg, you need the top 3 to have a really bad day. And those are 3 that have not had a bad day all season. Car starting pit lane, Brandon Cruz having a technical issue. He will start from pit lane. He'll be able to roll out, though. And given the history of this track and how difficult it is, I'd have to assume that Brandon Cruz may be safe from going a lap down for a little bit. I would assume an early caution would come out here. A lot of radio chatter regarding wheel spin and just general looseness in the car, the way the car dances around here at this racetrack. 1.336 miles a lap around the Darlington Raceway here in South Carolina as they go down the back straightaway with 1 lap to green. The conversation always going to be about the top 3 here tonight. Jose Solis Jr. trying to join them from 5th place in points. Significant work to do. Riding aboard, Sean Peleg, entering this race last in the top 10 in points. Starts this race 5th. He's got a lot of work to do. Pace car is pulled in as they roll through. Green flag displays. The green flag is showing. The Southern 500 is underway on ABN. Clean lap 1 getaway. The smoke on the pit lane was Brandon Cruz launching from his pit box for his pit lane start, and he's had issues. He is still crawling around on the pit exit, but he's off the racing surface, so they'll keep it green. Single file, line of stern, status quo for most of the top 10 at the moment. You saw Sean Paling and Gabriel Mauricio try to battle it out a little bit longer. Ended up in the favor of the 48. And Dylan Roberts, the 5 bonus points for leading a lap. We'll go over about lap 35, where the points stand mid-race, and then we'll go over the points at the end of this race, unofficially going into Homestead. That is the big focus right now. Riding aboard the Napa 15, Emily Howe. Emily Howe right now sitting in the 10th spot. Doing a great job staying right where she was as she started. Very easy in the outside lane to lose spots on the initial start. We saw that with a couple of drivers. We saw that with, looking further down the order here, we saw this with Kirk Marble. We saw this with Matt Taylor further down the order here. They lost a little bit of time. Christina Ryan up a couple spots here from up to the 13th position for car 30. Trying to get her way into the top 10. But it is a pressure stack top 10. This track, obviously we're racing in sunlight conditions. As the race gets closer to dusk and the track gets cooler, the conditions will fall a little bit. The track temperature will fall, the cars will get looser. Everyone battling that right now. Brandon Cruz trying to get back and rolling again. Not the way he wanted this race to start. Was hoping that he would be able to avoid going laps down here in that number 20 machine. He is back and officially rolling the 3 laps down in need of a slight miracle. Up close to the front, this is Nick Doucette and Parker Alexander. Teammates for Hendrick Motorsports, but rivals in the championship conversation. Doucette's had a way better chase than Alexander. They both sit right now top 10, 8th and 9th. Mike Rasmus, the 6th car, in 10th, having gotten around Emily Howe. Rolling through lap 7 of 60 here tonight. Seeing some sparks rolling from underneath the race cars. Tire temperatures, tire pressures getting up as the cars build up temperature and speed in these cars. You'll see that throughout the night, especially these cars very low to the ground, trying to generate as much downforce as possible at a track that is so difficult to find handling wise. Right on board, looking back from Doucette at Rasmus and Howe and Hernandez sitting right there in that 12th spot. See Alexander holding up Doucette as they lose touch with the 40 of Mauricio, the Brazilian, who started the chase was not great. He's found that pace late, but it may be too little too late for the 40 car. Just trying to piecemeal something together here across the final 3 races as they did last week. At the front of the field, Dylan Roberts leads the way. Jose Solis Jr. still sitting in 2nd, and you're not going to see what we saw a couple weeks ago at Atlanta, or what we saw last week. This is not going to be the multi-lane thriller that we expected, and what we expect next week at Homestead. This is very much pressure your adversaries into making mistakes. You've got one lane, and that is how close to the wall you can get to try to build time and generate speed. And trouble car, wrong side around. That is the 01 Logan Kress. That brings out the first caution of the night as we come to start the complete lap 10. He'll get rolling down the 22nd at the moment. I believe he'll fall down a little bit further than just 22nd. I believe Logan Cress will drop all the way down to 32nd. He does. And that does give Brandon Cruz a free pass. Looking at the replay here, and he gets turned by Alex Bates. I wonder, let's see if we get a better angle of that. It looked like Bates moved down a little bit from my perspective there. See if we can get a better angle of that. Sorry, I didn't say, Logan Cress, I believe, moved down, and that's exactly what I meant to say there. And is it netcode? Or does Cress think he's clear? Oh, I think Bates moves up. He's following along with that seam. Yeah, he moves up a little bit. He crosses over that seam, trying to slot in between the 01 of Cress and the 19, I believe that was Philip Snipes. So that's Alex Bates moving, trying to slot in to a gap that's not quite large enough for a full car. That spins Logan Cress around. Luckily, no damage there for the 01. And Cress misses his pit box as well, so insult to injury there for the 01 team. Brandon Cruz getting a lap back here. He'll be 2 laps down as the battle off pit lane sees Jose Solis Jr. stay behind Dylan Roberts. But interestingly enough, Matt Taylor and Hayden Repas, the 89, staying out. Matt Taylor got a bonus point. You got 5 bonus points for leading a lap. 89, though, gonna try to lead legitimately here. And this is going to be a very interesting one. The 89 does stay out and take the restart as the front of the field because he's on the oldest tires. And if we've seen anything throughout our history of broadcasting races at Darlington Raceway, fresh tires mean the world. Single file restart with Brandon Cruz being the only car a lap down and getting the free pass. He'll start at the tail end of the line. Two laps to green. Lights on that pace car here as we take another look here at the incident between Logan Cress and Alex Bates, the 01 and the 25. See if we can get an overhead shot here from the 25 car, because this is a fantastic shot here. And yeah, he just tries squeezing in, following along with that rubber seam, that sealant that goes across. Yeah, he's trying to squeeze in there on the 01. And there's no room to really do that, and eventually you're just going to hook somebody. Bates did not claim causing that incident, so that is going to be down for review, and here comes the 89 of Hayden Repas. So he will not bottleneck the field at the start here. He will move to 32nd and take his pit stop here at the end of the caution as we head to 1 to green. We'll be going green on lap 15. Kind of explaining while we're under caution here with 1 lap to green. With cautions, incidents here in the Winstel Cup Series, drivers that they feel are involved can put their hand up and say, hey, that was kind of my bad. If not, then it's sent to review for the series stewards, who can assess penalties from there. Usually if you claim an incident, you serve an EOL, everything's taken care of during the race. If not, you could potentially move to the end of the lead lap at the end of the race. So something to keep an eye out there for Alex Bates, who's not in the chase. Nothing really to fight for there. But could be insult to injury at the end of the race. Dylan Roberts, Jose Solis, and Christian Budd will start the field of 33 cars on this restart in lap 15. Jacob Potak in the 46, Tyler Head in the 4, Sean Palig in the 48, the top 7, including Guillermo Mauricio, Larry Pace from 25th to 8th, will go racing, and they go immediately too wide there as Tyler Head tries to get a leapfrog start on Potak. Championship 4 in the conversation. Trouble, Steve Brown. And caution comes out immediately. That is the 12 of Mo Perry. I'll take a look here. A couple dodges at the back of the field. But interestingly enough, I believe Tyler Head did get that 4th spot away from Potak. He did on that restart. We'll pull up a replay here in just a moment. He'll take over 4th position over Potak because where the caution came out, field is frozen immediately after one of these scoring loops. And this is what happened, and this is just a wheel spin incident that we talked about on the initial start. And that is Ken Huff, and that's Mo Perry that spun around. That's Rory Collins involved as well in the 23. See another car involved as well. Let's see if I can look at that. And that is Brandon Cruz involved in that one, so he will not get the free pass for this one. Mo Perry riding on board here with the 12 car. See cars up in the air. Oh, Corey Steinhauser gets a piece of it too. And it feels bad for Brandon Cruz, who did everything he had to try to get away from that incident, to try to get one of those laps back. Steve Brown claiming that incident for the wheel spin. Riding aboard here with the 2 laps down, 33rd place car, who had an issue entering this race. Went 3 laps down, immediately got one of those laps back, and oops! No space. Brandon Cruz. Now, intriguingly, Cruz still going to get the free pass, which is very interesting because he was very clearly involved in that incident, but they're going to give it to him anyway. Typically, if you're involved in an accident, especially if you're part of the caution, you don't typically get that back. With Cruz being the only car a lap down, I'm assuming they're just going to give it to him anyway. That's not standard procedure. So we're sitting here, second caution of the night. We're a quarter of the way through this race. 6-car incident here on the second caution. 34 of Corey Steinhauser, the 12 of Mo Perry, the 20 of Brandon Cruz, the 23 of Rory Collins, the 31 of Ken Huff, and the 43 of Steve Brown, all involved in this one. Front of the field. It's part of our cameras in our picture provided by Hoot Designs. You see the top 4, all chase drivers. Jacob Potak in 5th, separating Sean Peleg and Gabriel Mauricio from the rest of the group. A lot of chase drivers, for those wondering, at the top of your screen. They're all chase drivers. Looks like we have one more lap of caution here. Yes, we do. Let's go out this time by. Additional caution lap because of the lap car, Brandon Cruz, who is now 1 lap down. If he gets another quick caution that he's not a part of, then he could get back on the lead lap there. Several cars coming in and topping off with fuel. Interestingly enough, Emily Howe, Philip Snipes, Mo Perry, among those coming down, but especially Emily Howe and Philip Snipes coming down and topping off with fuel here. So Dylan Roberts, Josie Solis Jr., Christian Budd, and Tyler Head, your top 4, will lead this single file line to green. Steve Brown in pit lane. for an extra lap, so now there's 2 cars a lap down, battling for the free pass position. The 43 and the 20. On board the 46 Potak. 6th start for him here. Best finish second from last year in Martinsville. See if he can do better. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And the field fans out almost immediately. Everyone trying to get positions here. Solis trying to barn bust. The 8 ends up in the fence. Now under threat from the 17 of Christian Butt. Tried flying close to the sun, got too close. 29 are Icarus at the front of the field. And in the wall again is the 29, tagging it repeatedly this lap. Bold and brazen, and now rent asunder is the 29, as Christian Budd now has direct line of sight on the 8. The race leader. Here comes Sean Palik attacking the 46 of Potak. Riding on board that Lowe's Chevrolet. As they complete lap 21. Solis stays third, held off Tyler Head. And now we're back line of stern. Christina Ryan tagged the wall further behind in the 15th position after losing a spot to McKissick and losing another one potentially to the 51 of Ryan Hill. See this battle here side by side at a turn 4. 51 with the advantage. Add that across the line. Christina Ryan down to 16th place. And falling down just a little bit. Car is handling a little bit rougher. And in the wall again goes a 30, and here comes Lautenschlager. 99, and here comes Logan Kress in the 01 as well. Christina Ryan in that AOL 30 like a parachute falling backwards. Stays ahead of the 01 for the moment, but loses 16th to Lautenschlager. And now trying to go back after it, goes below the dotted line. There's no really super defined apron. There's a hash mark defining the actual racing surface from everything else, but it's all arbitrary. Christina Ryan trying to use that to her advantage. It didn't quite work out, and now she's still under threat from the 01 at Kress. Gaggles of cars here. Looking at Kirk Marble and Brandon McKissick. McKissick trying to drive underneath the 16. The 16 trying to defend. McKissick, though, just a little bit better. He was second fastest in practice. Did not set a time in qualifying, so he's been trying to charge his way forward through the field. And so far, 37 car has been doing that. McKissick from 26th up to 14th. As you see the 24 and the 6 go at it. The 6 Erasmus, the 24 Deset. Battling hard. That is for the 9th position. Parker Alexander in 8th. And Rasmus with a really good run at turn 2 closes in on Alexander. Further afield, it is the top 7, nose to tail, from Dylan Roberts to Gabriel Mauricio. And then there's about a second gap from Mauricio to Alexander. Potak looks to the inside, the defending series champion. Running aboard the 46, who almost lands the kiss off that wall. And you see the pressure from the back of the 46 car. That is the 48. That low Chevrolet is close right now. Rolling down into turn 1 and 2 once again. Most of your top 10 in this, most of your chase drivers in the top 10 in this field, I should say. A couple of them not. Brandon McGee, 21st. Henley Howell up to 23rd. Front of the field, it is a showdown as Solis tries to apply pressure to get second place back from Christian Budd. Pressure cooker environment at the front of the field. Dylan Roberts kind of hoping that Solus does get ahead. Gives him that extra chance to gain some extra points right now. Right now he's only gaining 10 on the 17 curve. Christian Budd further behind. This is Larry Pace, that McDonald's 98, falling backwards. As high as 8th, he started 25th. But now beginning to find the average, the median of his running positions at the moment, as he loses a spot to Kirk Marble and will lose another one potentially to the 51 of Ryan Hill. As we get ready to complete the halfway lap here at Darlington for the Southern 500. It is still Dylan Roberts ahead of Christian Budd and Jose Solis Jr., but it is a game fight across the halfway point. And you see from 25 points to 5 points, Dylan Roberts has the most laps led points right now and basically has it confirmed at this point. Christian Budd, if he loses a spot to Jose Solis Jr., would end up entering tied on points to Dylan Roberts, with Tyler Head losing some time and some points here. Mauricio and Doucette all staying within a race would keep their chances alive mathematically until Homestead, if things stay as they are right now through the first half of racing. Solus also would stay alive by 4 points, but just 4 points. Alexander, Hal, Peleg, and McGee would be very firmly out if things stay as they are. But we're expecting another green flag pit stop cycle if things stay as they are in this field. They cannot go to the end of the race as they are right now. There will need to be a pit stop in this race for everyone, and that could be a big shuffling decider in who wins this race and who has the best odds going into Homestead next week. Dylan Roberts looking comfortable out front. Christian Budd, Jose Solis Jr. top 3. Then you have Tyler Head and then Jacob Potak trying to play spoiler as they roll, entering turns 3 and 4. We had 2 cautions in quick succession on lap 13 and on lap 17. Since then, it's been free sailing. Here comes Sean Peleg on Tyler Head. You saw Potak in your screen get around the 4. Peleg tried following through, had to check up massively in the turns 1 and 2. And you look back, a little bit of spacing between the 48 and the 40 of Gabriel Mauricio, the Brazilian and the Silver Bullet. Keep an eye on the 17 of Christian Budd. He's beginning to drift up closer and closer to that outside wall as this race progresses. Meanwhile, Christina Ryan struggling. That 30 car getting looser and looser as these tires wear on that right side. You're seeing the fishtailing on that 30 car. Really loose for the 30 car. Not happy is the former AB and Open Wheel World Champion. Christina Ryan now down to 19th place, about to lose it with Corey Cook. Looking to the inside and getting there. Corey Cook with the line going in, turns 1 and 2. Will sail through and sail clear. Christina Ryan tries to respond with Corey Cook tagging the wall. Still some fight in that 30 car. Brandon McGee, and whoa, trouble. Philip Snipes gets turned. Philip Snipes, and I believe that was further behind. That was, I believe, the 19, the 01 that nearly completely binned it. How they saved that is beyond me. I watched the 19 out of frame just immediately just be sent to the inside lane. Here we go. Here's a look. 01, the 19. And I was correct. It was the 19. The 19 Dodge. Whoop! How that did not immediately just turn the car sideways is insane. Really good save by both of them. And cars are in pit lane, so pit stops have come for the field. Potak, Rasmus, Pace, Laudenslager, and Cook, the 5 that came in on that initial run. And here comes the 8 of Dylan Roberts and the 17 of Christian Budd. And Jose Solis Jr. trying to pit. He gets in really late. Almost gave himself a penalty for violating the pit entry cone. Gives Tyler Head the lap lead points here as he stays out with Brandon McKissick and Evan Locke. Solis was really caught out there by that pit stop call by the race leaders and lost time entering pit lane for it. Here comes Tyler Head. Into pit lane. Evan Locke will stay out. He'll try to lead some laps and get those 5 bonus points here. Ahead of Brendan McGee and Matt Taylor. Whoa, Matt Taylor in the fence. The 32 car in third. Drifted a little bit high out of turn 4. As the leaders all go one down for the moment. This is where the panic would set in dramatically if a caution came out right now, which is why Matt Taylor hitting the wall would have been a pretty big deal. Emily Howell coming down pit lane had to try from the wall to the apron to make something happen. More cars in, including Evan Locke, who comes down pit lane this time by Brendan McGee, now the race leader. He'll take some bonus points for laps led. You'll see he'll need a lot more bonus points in this race. They'll need to find ways to give him bonus points if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. But McGee leading the way over Philip Snipes. Pit entry and exit here at Darlington, so sketchy, so harrowing. Philip Snipes staying out further. He's going to try to lead some laps here and get that 19 some 5 bonus points, and he will do so. Cars getting laps back here. This will give the 46 of Potak, who got the undercut, the lead of the race once everyone cycles through the pit stops here. McGee in pit lane now. It leaves the 19 of Snipes and the 89 of Hayden Repus, who also comes down pit lane this time. And here comes the 19 as well to make that pit stop. It will give the 46 the race lead over the 48, and then the 8, the 17, the 29. So everything shuffles around here for what could have been the final stop of the race here. Less than 20 laps to go. Jacob Potak leads the way over Peleg and Roberts. Roberts trying to get back around the 48. Jacob Potak enjoying the clean air. Matt Taylor in the wall and out of this race is the result of that for the 32. Race over for the Todd car. Philip Snipes leaving pit lane now. We'll cycle back mid-pack as Potak leads the way. It's a little over a second to this group right here, battling for second place. Dylan Roberts did what he needed to do, and that was put a car between himself and Christian Budd. And now he gets to try to reel in the 46 and take down that second gap. And Christian Budd going to try to get around Peleg as well. He tries to fight it off, but the 48 car is not handling the same way as the 17. And it's very clear and obvious at that point. So what Dylan Roberts did, whoa, huge latency for Christian Budd. Saw him blink out and back in, and is still, there he goes, back out and back in for the 17 of Christian Budd. Which is not what you want to have at this stage, not only of the race, but of the championship. There's a saying for Christian Budd: control what you can, don't worry about what you can't. I believe the addendum to that is hope that this is something you can control. Nick Doucette sitting 11th, trying to get back into the top 10 around Larry Pace. He needs to. Those lap points would be very interesting with how things are sitting right now, because we are nowhere near where we were initially. Here comes the 15 around the 99. It's Howe around Lautenschlager. And you see, started 10th, only up to 18th. Very slow crawl for the 15 car, who topped off of fuel and didn't get any benefit out of it. Here comes the Ford, the 29 of Solis around the 48 of Sean Peleg. So Peleg down to 5th. Would be remiss not to mention that the gap has been halved by the 8 of Dylan Roberts to the race leader, Jacob Potak. Christian Budd in 3rd, Jose Solis Jr. in 4th, Sean Peleg rounds out your top 5 as things currently stand. Potak started 3rd, dropped down to about 6th place at one point. Took the undercut strategy, came down pit lane first on lap 37, and ended up with the race lead in hand. The gap down to 4/10 between these two. Dylan Roberts now on board with him. That Budweiser Chevrolet. It's a Dodge leading the way. Potak tags the wall. Big mistake there for the 46. And that'll allow the 8 car to close back in more and more. We have 1 car out, that's Matt Taylor. 32 cars still remaining on the racetrack here in the Southern 500. Dylan Roberts needs a race win, would love to put the 46 between him and the 17. The 46 has a fast Dodge. That 8 car a little bit faster, the 17 car a little bit faster, but it's all about making the most of the opportunities right now at the front of the field. Gap has stabilized about 4.5 tenths. Potak feeling the pressure from the championship adversaries, the 8 and the 17, closing in. Gap between the top 3 in total is 1.3 seconds. It's close. Brandon Cruz up ahead. Lap traffic will be an issue, and caution comes out. Caution is out. Alex Bates, 25. Alex Bates in trouble. The caution flies for the 3rd time with 10 laps to go and counting. Let's take a look at the replay here. Alex Bates lost several spots there. This is a look here. This is Ken Huff. Ooh! Alex Bates really locks up there. Alex Bates is part of it, but it's a 3-prong issue there with Ken Huff and the 42 of Evan Locke. It looks like Ken Huff moves down the racetrack. No, he gets hit by the 25 of Alex Bates. Again, Alex Bates getting into that left rear quarter panel of another car. 2nd time tonight that's happened for the 25. And that's bad, because if he gets 2 incidents sent to him like this, and there's no way to say that that's not on the 25 of Alex Bates, that is the end of the lead lap at the end of the race. He'll go from being in and around the top 20 to 26th or worst, because he didn't claim the first one when he spun the 01 of Logan Kress. He didn't claim this one either when he spun the 31 of Ken Huff into the path of Evan Locke. That's not great. Meanwhile, back in real time, Christian Budd has taken the lead of the race. 3 cars stayed out, and this will be a nightmare. Christian Budd, Tyler Head, Gabriel Mauricio, they stayed out. Jacob Potak, Dylan Roberts, Parker Alexander, Larry Pace, Kirk Marble, Nick Doucette, they all came down pit lane for 2 tires, right side tires, for this shootout. Stewart's giving Alex Bates another chance to claim that incident for the 3rd caution. He was involved in the 2nd, he was involved in the 3rd. So far, he's claimed neither. So that'd be rough. 3 cars on old tires lead the way. Bud, Head, Mauricio. I have a feeling we're going to see some people lick the stamp here at Darlington, because there's not a lot of time left in this race. For those unfamiliar with the Winstel Cup Series, This is going to be very interesting. There is a point of no return. We have one attempt at a green-white checkered. If we get a caution, that forces an overtime or a green-white checkered attempt. So there will be no cautions after that. We'll have 2 green flag laps to determine this race, and that'll be it. I say there won't be any cautions. A slight hyperbole. If a caution comes out immediately on the restart, that'll end the race. But if once we take the white flag, that's it. That is game, set, match. 5 car is still in trouble, and he is deep in the middle of this lead group. You see the sun setting, the track cooling down. We will not see full nighttime. If this race goes long enough, if we have enough caution laps, we will see the lights turn on here in Darlington, South Carolina. Riding aboard with the race leader on old tires, the oldest tires in the field. Now we'll look at the Budweiser Chevrolet, who has a lot to race for at this particular point in time, 5th on the line. The pace car is pulled into pit lane. Everyone gonna try to get around these top 3 as quick as you humanly can. Green flag flies, and immediately cars step inwards to try to find their way around. And this could be gnarly. Here comes Potak. Fresh tires on the right side for the 46. Whoa, trouble, the 4 car gets tagged. They go, and flying they go, and that's going to be a caution. That was Parker Alexander that got turned. And you had the feeling they just were not going to make it back. And indeed they didn't, and now Christian Budd is a sitting duck. Luckily, that car is not completely destroyed because he got turned dead left. We'll take a look here and see what caused the 4th caution of the night. And I believe this will be the point of no return. This will be the overtime restart. Sideways. Oh, Larry Pace. 98 car, that McDonald's car. Everyone checking up for Tyler Head, who got really loose and tagged the wall there at a 2. Everyone checked up there. Alexander moved to the left side, the inside lane. And Larry Pace was just kind of in trouble. Larry Pace goes to the inside. Just a slight checkup. Couple mile an hour difference there for the 5 car. Larry Pace wasn't anticipating it. And around goes the 5 car. Larry Pace believing that was a racing deal. So he will not claim that. And that'll be another one. No cautions outside the first, the one claimed by Steve Brown for that wheel spin on that 2nd caution. None of them claimed. The 2 by Alex Bates and the 1 by Larry Pace. None of them have been claimed. Looking here once more, and we'll look at it. Let's have a little bit of netcode there between the 46 of Potak and the 4 of Tyler Head. Checks the field up, and around goes the 5. A little discussion regarding the rules going on between series organizers here, just listening to the radio conversations here. So, kind of pulling some insight on the rule book here. So, typically, you want to stay in that middle lane where Christian Budd is right now, is where you want to be. You want to leave a full lane to the right-hand side. That lane is considered an emergency lane. So that way cars can jump into that right lane if they need to let cars go by. There have been some complaints that has not been followed tonight. And it hasn't been. You can go back and look at the replay. There has not been a full lane left on that right-hand side all night. But we're seeing some checking up issues because there's drivers that are having mechanical issues right now through tagging the wall or wherever means that have nowhere to go. So it's causing issues further down the order as well. Riding on board here, this is with the 46 Potak, who is in the catbird seat right now. With Christian Budd with over 20 laps on those tires. The 17 car is a lame duck. At the 46 of Potak, you got the 8 of Dylan Roberts. And it is official, we are in overtime territory. Green, white, checkered coming up. This will be the last restart of the race. Christian Budd's got to drive the wheels up that 17 car for 3 miles. Christian Budd, Jacob Potak, Dylan Roberts, Tyler Head, Gabriel Mauricio, your top 5. Kirk Marble, Larry Pace, Nick Doucette, Ryan Hill, Mike Rasmus, your top 10. 27 cars on the lead lap with the addition of Corey Cook from the lap down line. On board with the Silver Bullet, Gabriel Mauricio. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what everyone can do here. Navigating the cars on older tires. Tyler Head just ahead of him, one of those cars on older tires. Mauricio also on older tires himself. This will be an electric restart. Electric for what reason will be the very important question to answer. Green flag is in the air and away we go. Wheel spin by the 46. But he hangs with the 17 as the 98 Larry Pace tries to make a send on the 40. It does not work. We are racing down the back straightaway. And Christian Budd going to try everything he can to block the 46 and to block the 8. Coming to the white flag in the Southern 500. 1 lap to go at the line. Christian Budd, for all it's worth, trying to hang on in that DeWalt Ford. Potak in that 46, his 6th start, would love to get a race win. He finished 2nd last year in Martinsville. They all fan out behind him. This is Potak's best chance at a chance for a race win. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. We're going to get a drag race down the front straightaway, across the line. Potak grabs it. Jacob Potak is a winner in the Winstel Cup Series. Christian Budd stays 2nd place. Dylan Roberts gets 3rd. Christian Budd will have the advantage in the points going in to Homestead Miami next weekend, but for Jacob Potak on your screen, he is a race winner tonight in the Winstel Cup Series. Second place was his best result at Martinsville in 2023. Little congratulatory bump there by Evan Locke. And here comes the spin and the burnouts, the celebration for car 46. A fantastic job for Jacob Potak, the race winner. And a drag race across our finish line between him and Christian Budd. Start right there, poetically, right on the start-finish line. Top 10 results here, unofficially. It's Potak, Budd, Roberts your top 3, Tyler Head in 4th, ahead of Kirk Marble, Nick Doucette, Gabriel Mauricio, Larry Pace, Ryan Hill, and Mike Rasmus. For the 17, the 4, and the 40, they all held on the top 10 finishes. A great job for all of them here in this race. Jacob Potak breaking through for his first career win. An outstanding drive. We'll go ahead and start the interview process here with Dylan Roberts, 3rd place for the Budweiser 8 machine after a wild race there having to try to handle cars on old tires. Dylan, third place, most laps led. You close the gap down going into Homestead next week. Walk us through that race, because it seemed like that race was in the 8's hands for most of the race.
Yeah, a lot of fun there. It unfortunately, when you get those cautions late, it almost becomes a lottery as to what decision's the right one. I think if we didn't get that caution on that first restart there, I think I would have been in a pretty good spot, because I had fresher lefts than Potac, but I had the 2 tires there over Christian and Tyler and them. But get the caution, get that another quick 3-lap dash, and it's a lot of your advantage is taken away from the side of the people that have pit. But it's hard to be mad with third. I mean, beat one of the 2 others that are really close here for the championship, led a bunch of laps. I think that's going to be bonus points for most, hopefully.
Yeah.
And just trying to claw little by little. We've only got one more race, so it's just about doing what I can do, controlling what I can control. A win tonight would have been great, but I mean, I'll take third with a lot of laps led.
Obviously, it is a close fight between you, the 4, Tyler Head, the 17 Christian Bud. All of you 3 nose to tail tonight at the finish, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Going into Homestead, it is a razor-thin margin, but this 8 cars look so good throughout the entirety of the chase here. With Homestead coming up the last race of the season, that 8 car, again, looking really strong here today in very adverse conditions. Is that 8 car up to standard to really go and try to win that race? Because it basically is winner take all at this point for the championship, and with the gap, I believe it's about 10 points right now. I have to double check to make sure of that. It is genuinely winner take all. Is that 8 car in a position to try to go and win a championship here? And do you think that Homestead's going to give you the opportunity?
I certainly hope so. Homestead for me has historically been a pretty good track. I haven't run as much on it in its current iteration with all the way it's gripped up, what lanes work, what don't. But I just the dynamics of that track, I've always felt pretty confident what it rewards versus what it punishes in how you drive the car. So I'm going to hopefully have some pace. I mean, it's like you said, winner take all. You got to go there ready to fight for the win. And anything less than that isn't going to cut it. So hopefully we're up there.
It was a fantastic job here for the 8 car tonight. Again, 3rd place, most laps led. That is confirmed. Really closing in on that gap to Dylan Robert, to Christian Bud here tonight, the leader of the championship. Before we let you go and let you get ready for Homestead coming up here in just 7 days' time, Dylan, if there's anyone you want to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the podium. That Budweiser number 8 will be one of the 3 battling for a championship next week.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'd just like to shout out once again everybody here at ABN for these broadcasts. It's just fantastic going back to watch these races. It's such a nostalgic kick seeing all the old graphics, all these old paint schemes, the old Gen 4, and shout out to everybody behind Winstel and everybody that shows up week in, week out to race with us. I mean, these races are a lot of fun. I know tempers flare at times, people fight, but at the end of the day, we're racing in a league that's pretty cool. Like, it's really, really awesome to be going back to such a fun time in NASCAR in a way like this, and to have a championship come down to the wire like this. I mean, no matter who wins, it's going to be entertaining.
It absolutely will be. 3 cars in this fight. Dylan Roberts, one of them going into Homestead, just about 10 points adrift of the championship lead. It is winner take all in Miami between the 17 and the 8. Dylan, enjoy the podium tonight, and we'll hopefully be talking to you again in even better circumstances next week at Homestead.
Thank you so much.
That was Dylan Roberts, the 8 car crew here tonight, finishing 3rd place. We'll move on to the 17 of Christian Bud. So close on old tires to holding on for the race win. Instead, we get a classic Darlington photo finish, not unlike what we've seen in years past. In 2003, obviously a more dramatic photo finish, a respectable photo finish here for the 17 car Christian. Walk us through that race in that decision to stay out late in the race when everyone else came in. The thoughts on that and having to drive the 17 car to its absolute limit?
Yeah, it was a really good race. A lot of fun. I really thought that Dylan kind of had us covered. If things had just gone green, that first run, he was able to hang on to his tires a little bit better than I was. I felt like he was starting to pull me there at the end of the run. Had a couple cautions in there to kind of shake things up a little bit. I was able to get by Jose on one of them, get up to 2nd. And then didn't want to see that last caution. I don't know if Jake was gonna ultimately win it there anyway. If Dylan would have been able to get by him on the longer run, would have been really a battle for them. But staying out, I really felt like last week I kind of burned myself and lost some points when I pit late. And, with the way the restarts were here and stuff, I thought there was a pretty good chance that we would get another caution, and we did. But we needed about 50 more feet or so, but the tires were really shot. I will say this, Jake, he raced me really respectfully. I kind of didn't leave him a whole lot of room there on that first 3 and 4, just doing everything I could. I didn't want to get myself out of the groove, and then, he never had to touch me or anything to move by and make the right pass and win the race. So congratulations to him. I don't know if that's his first win for us in this particular era of Winstel, but definitely been a long time coming, so no surprise to see him do it.
Yeah, it was his best. He last finished on the podium at Martinsville last year, so very good result for him as well. Obviously, that 17 car looked fantastic here. Going into Homestead, Miami, you have the championship lead here, but it is a winner-take-all situation between you and the 8 car going in. We've seen how good both cars have been, as well as the 4 car, who's definitely within fingertip range of both of you in the points. This 3 car fight, how intense is Homestead going to be next week for you? Because you are the one, it's ironic you don't have the target car as your car for this season, because you have the target on your back. How intense is that going to be for you trying to, the most important race of the season, be perfect?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nerve-wracking, honestly. Like, even tonight, the points are really on my mind. And obviously, Dylan and Tyler have shown that they can go out and dominate a race. It's a mile and a half, but it's a little different than some of the other ones, I feel. Just the way that track races. Haven't been on it since any of the later updates, so I don't know if anything's changed there. But, it's the same thing, really. I kind of feel like just any other week, you go out there, you just do the best you can. You try and make the best decisions that you can. And you just let the chips fall where they may, no matter what happens, I'm just proud to be part of this and have a shot going into the last race to try and win the thing. If Tyler or Dylan win it, they'll have earned it for sure. So, but I'm just going to do the best I can. Hopefully we can put the 17 on top one more time.
Did a fantastic job here. Second place, just about 50 to 100 feet shy of winning here at Darlington. Before we let you go and let you get ready for Homestead in 7 days' time, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the podium. A fantastic fight here in Darlington for the Southern 500, and the championship battle awaits in Florida.
Yeah, thanks. Just, everybody who's involved in Winstel in any capacity. We've got so many good drivers here. We've got so many good admins. This doesn't happen if everybody isn't pulling the same cart the same direction. So just thanks to all of them. Thanks to the wife and kids for letting me do this every Sunday. Thanks to anybody who's watching out there, who's watching this race today. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you missed any of them, check it out on ABN. Go back, watch them. They're all fun to watch. And then just you guys up in the booth for doing everything you've done for us this year. It's been really great.
Absolutely fantastic job. We will see all the archives from the season. We have some archives up here already on AVN Studios on YouTube. The rest of the archives will come up this week in preparation for the finale at Homestead on Sunday. Christian, enjoy the podium. We'll be looking forward to that championship fight next weekend in Miami, but enjoy it. And hopefully we get to talk to you again very soon with even better to talk about.
I hope so. Thank you.
That was Christian Budd, the 17-car team, here tonight. A fantastic job for Jacob Potak, though, a race winner for the first time in modern Winstel history after finishing on the podium at Martinsville last season. 5 starts, hadn't been the best arrangement for the 46 car until tonight. Ultimate spoiler for the 46 car crew. Jake, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I do.
A fantastic drive here. Catbird seat in the final 10 laps. It seemed like it would never end for that 46 car crew. Right side tires, the ultimate answer there to the strategy trivia game at the end of the Southern 500. Walk us through your race. You were a top 5 car all night. Walk us through just how you had to keep that car in check here, because it was hard to pass But when that 46 car needed to, it was push comes to shove, and that 46 car was rocketing at the front of the field.
Yeah, it was really tough to pass. Christian, Dylan, and Tyler had to be respectful of them. So really, I think it's the whole first half of the race. I was just making sure I didn't spoil any one of those guys' days early. But I made an interesting call, pitted a lap early, and most of the leaders on that last green flag stop. And I knew it'd give me the lead, but I had older tires than Dylan. Fuel was going to be tight. That would have been a really interesting battle. Don't know if I'd held on, but I knew if a caution came out, it was going to be in the spot. So just set myself up, and it all played out.
A fantastic job. Obviously, a part-time effort here in the Winstel Cup Series. 6th start. You finally get your race win this season. 1 race to go for that 46 car crew. The obvious next question is, do we get to see this 46 car potentially try to play spoiler again next week in Homestead, Miami? What's it look like for that 46 car to end off the season?
I hope I do. Really like that track. I got a really busy schedule in real life, so don't get to run as many of these races as I could. Would love to run them all, but yeah, I'd love to run next week. Love Homestead.
It was a fantastic job for the 46 car tonight. Before we let you go, obviously, as is tradition here on the podium here on ABN Broadcast, if there's anyone who want to shout and say thank you to, Jacob, the floor is yours. You did a fantastic job tonight. Raced your way to the front when you needed to, had some laps led, drove around a very game Christian Budd here tonight for this race win in Darlington. If there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on your first win in modern Winstel history.
Thanks. Yeah, it's actually my first Winstel win ever. I've been racing these races, I think, close to a decade now. So this has been a really long time coming at times. Didn't know if it had ever happened. So, yeah, I want to shout out my car's motor. I blew it this Monday, VIR, real life. It's been a tough week, and doing it some honor there.
Absolutely sent it here in that 46 car. Fantastic job for the 46 Dodge. Jacob Potak, your race winner in Darlington. We hope to see him at Homestead, Miami in 7 days' time. Jacob, obviously, sorry to hear about your motor on Monday, but hopefully we get to see you again on Sunday to try to go and play spoiler with this championship contenders once again. Enjoy the race win.
Thank you.
That was the race winner, Jacob Potak. An outstanding drive for an outstanding driver there. Absolutely outstanding gamesmanship and respectable battling all throughout the field. You saw those slow-mo replays throughout this race here. Let's go ahead and go over the results here tonight. Actually, we'll go over the points first. Let's go ahead and do that. That's going to make a lot more sense here. Going over the points for the chase for the Winstel Cup, it is Christian Budd by 25 points over Dylan Roberts. How important is one position? Very. From 5 points difference to 25 points difference. This is unofficial, so this could change between now and next Sunday in Homestead, Miami for the finale. Tyler Head, 28 points adrift. Still very much in the touching distance, the defending series champion. It is game on between those three in Homestead. Again, winner take all between those top three. Nick Doucette sitting in 4th, Gabriel Mauricio top 5. Jose Solis Jr. and everyone on down eliminated from the championship conversation. Jacob Potak, Christian Budd, Dylan Roberts, your top 3 here in Darlington. Tyler Head in 4th, Kirk Marble, Nick Doucette, Gabriel Mauricio, Larry Pace, Ryan Hill, and Mike Rasmus, your top 10 from the Southern 500. Looking further down the order, you've got Sean Palig in 11th. Again, his championship hopes have officially ended here at Darlington Raceway. Jonathan Hernandez, Christina Ryan, back to 13th place after starting this race, believe in the 7th row of the field. So gets back to where she started this race. Alongside Evan Locke, their 14th place, Brandon McKissick, 15th, Emily Howell, 16th. Her championship run comes to an end as well. Alex Bates, 17th after a wild race, causing 2 cautions that'll be under investigation by the series stewards at the end of this race. So he could end up dropping down to 27th place by the time this is all said and done. Brendan McGee, provisionally 18th spot. The unofficial results, very important, the unofficial carrying a lot of that word there. Craig Lonslager, 19th, and Logan Kress, your top 20 here in Darlington. Looking further down the order, it's Jose Solis Jr., Philip Snipes, Mo Perry, Andrew Griesbaum, Parker Alexander, Corey Steinhauser, and Corey Cook. Your cars on the lead lap here, 27 of them. Then it's Brandon Cruz, a lap down after being 3 laps down. Close, but could not get his final lap back after more cars went a lap down as this race progressed. Steve Brown 1 lap down as well. Hayden Revis in the 30th position in the 89 car. A lap down as well. Ken Huff, Roy Collins, and Matt Taylor. the rest of the field. Matt Taylor, the only retirement of this race. Rory Collins and Ken Huff, 2 laps down, but at the finish of this race here in Darlington Raceway. There's one race to go in the Winstel Cup season. The chase for the Winstel Cup continues next Sunday, 7:45 p.m. right here on ABN1. We have more racing. Penultimate round of the HTL Cup Series playoffs. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here on ABN1 from Bristol Motor Speedway. We go racing in Thunder Valley. That's going to be a wild race, the elimination round to set the Championship 4 grid. And then Championship Week begins Tuesday. It is the finale of the HTL Hammerdown Truck Series. The finale for that series as a whole, as it becomes the Challenger Series on Thursday nights in 2025. We have to send that series off with a bang at Fontana, 8 p.m. right here on ABN1 as well. No Champ Car Racing on Wednesday. We'll be back again on Friday on YouTube, ABN Studios, for the ARX Series. We had a fantastic first 4 races of the season there. Friday on YouTube, 8:30 p.m. You're going to want to tune in for that one as well. The ARX Series will head to Lernerville. Some more dirt racing on the calendar for the ARX Series on Friday. Saturday, it is the RX High Octane Series. We head to Rockingham on Saturday as well, and then we'll be back here on Sunday for the finale of the Winstel Cup Series from Homestead. For everyone here at Darlington Raceway for the Winstel Cup Series, Winstel Racing, and everyone here at ABN Studios, my producer, Amity Pulsatrix, I'm Carmen Sienna. We'll see you tomorrow night at Bristol and Thunder Valley, and we'll see you next Sunday for the finale for the winner-takes-all championship battle in Homestead, Miami. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night in Bristol. So long, everybody.